Has anyone told you about Cupid? With new gods coming faster than you do, my list of video ideas is constantly expanding. And if every one of them is as broken as this fucker, my alcohol consumption will continue to expand too. I'd say one of SMITE 2's most glaring issues currently is the amount of CC in the game, coupled with the lack of ways to combat it. There's supports with lots of CC that can fuck you, junglers with lots of CC that can fuck you, and more supports with lots of CC so their angry team of baboons can come fuck you. But a lot of these issues can be taken care of with a good mix of positioning and ability knowledge. Does their Ares have his blink up? Probably best to stick near your support or expand the grouping of your team. Has your lane been ganked 4 times in the past 3 minutes? Probably best you get some wards in position away from the jungle. Has your enemy locked in Cupid? Probably best you F6 before he makes you fall in love with being fucked. While Cupid isn't necessarily overpowered, I feel myself constantly annoyed by his presence. I've never had fun against him because while he isn't particularly good at any one thing, he's better than you at everything you can't do. His kit is so broad that you can literally put him anywhere and have a successful game because no matter the situation, he has something for all occasions. I would say Cupid is the multi-tool of SMITE. Need a late game hyper carry? Done. Need a tanky support that can provide sustain and CC? Done. Need a brawler that can keep themselves alive? Done. With the diversity of his kit and the broad number of items he can utilize, a Cupid can easily be the backbone of any team comp. With each god bringing something different to the team, it's hard to plan for everything they might throw at you, and adding a Cupid into that mix makes it basically impossible. In my personal opinion, one of Cupid's biggest drawbacks is his passive. Let me explain. Cupid's passive is called Love Struck. Cupid gains stacks by hitting basic attacks, 1 stack for minions, 2 stacks for enemy gods, maxing out at 16 stacks. Cupid's 1, 2 and ultimate consume 8 stacks to gain an additional effect, damage or healing. Now this sounds decent, but this inherently means that Cupid somewhat relies on attack speed to be viable. There's a ton of great items in the game that can provide attack speed and that can work really well in his builds. But going into a team fight without full passive stacks usually means that you aren't at your full potential. Also, if he has stacks on his passive, his enemies get a little warning circle. It's like a peacock. Cupid's letting you know he's ready to fuck you. Cupid's first ability is called Heart Bomb. Cupid fires an arrow of love, dealing physical damage and slowing the first enemy hit. So it's the kind of love that my dad hits me with. Got it. After 3 seconds, this explodes, dealing damage to the same enemy and all enemies within the radius around them. If Cupid has 8 stacks on his passive, this will stun all enemies within that explosion. So, you'll have 2 reactions if this hits you. Either, haha, you stupid baby, you hit me instead of the minions, now you've lost lane pressure. Or, oh shit, oh fuck, there's a bomb strapped to my chest, I hope I have enough gold to buy my next item. This ability is good, but not great. Like I said, if you're early game and hit an enemy god with it, they can basically push up with their minions that you didn't kill. And even if you did hit the minions with it, the radius of the explosion isn't big enough to hit both the archers and soldiers, unless you fire it at them before the minions clash with your own. Alternatively, you can surprise your enemies with a pretty instant stun if you have stacks on your passive and a low minion, since a heart bomb explodes instantly if the target it is attached to dies. The downside to this is you've lost damage by not just hitting the enemy with your heart bomb. Either way, this ability is still a threat since it's a stun, which can force your enemy to use their actives. Additionally, this ability has an aspect tied to it. Cupid's heart bomb now deals less damage, but reduces enemy attack speed and the explosion now heals allies. With max stacks on your passive, this grants allies a health shield. This again is in a strange spot for me. It helps make his support and solo potential more viable, as it would be easier to brawl with this aspect on, but in the duo lane as a support, your carry typically doesn't want to be close enough to the enemies for this to be effective. And in the solo lane, you're reducing your wave clearing potential early on for a better late game experience, which to me feels like a very balanced aspect, a nice blend of consequences and rewards. Wish all aspects could be balanced like that, but yeah. Cupid's second ability is called Share the Love. Cupid throws a bomb at a location that detonates shortly after landing. Why is this infant obsessed with delayed explosions? Once the bomb explodes, 3 hearts will spawn around the location, healing and restoring mana of allies that pick them up. If Cupid picks up the hearts, he gains a stack of Love Struck, which helps alleviate his dependency on attack speed. With 8 stacks of Love Struck, the hearts will provide a temporary strength and intelligence buff. While the hearts don't heal for a great deal, it's still sustain in the laning phase, along with basically infinite mana, since it restores more than it costs. Also, if you throw these at your feet, all the hearts go to you instantly. Cupid also has a dash. Flutter sends Cupid forward quickly. This leaves a trail, providing increased attack speed and movement speed for Cupid and his allies. Another ability that can help alleviate the strain of his passive. Now the dash isn't too long, so the additional movement speed feels like a nice addition. Also, being able to provide your entire team bonus movement speed is a great way to help your team engage, especially if you're running tanky Cupid. as you'd want to be one of the first into the fight to try and burn some actives and cause a bit of disruption for the enemy team. And finally, Cupid's ultimate is called Field of Love. Now this shit is the main reason I hate going against Cupid. He fires a volley of arrows in an area, slowing and crippling all enemies inside. Since the area of this is so massive, without beads or slow immunity, you're basically a sitting duck for Cupid. After a short duration, the area will explode. Another fucking delayed explosion, what is this? The explosion deals physical damage, mesmerizing all enemies inside, whilst also healing all allies inside. With 8 stacks of Love Struck, the mesmerize becomes a stun. This ult has so many use cases, it's hard to comprehend. But here's a few. Objective secure, burn actives, assist the front lines in a team fight, heal allies, win 1v1, set up your 1, set up a combo with your team, break up a team fight, panic ult, ambush ult, disengage, engage, plan the seaside wedding, happily married, divorce, heartbroken, she took the kids. Now I know there are a lot of bullshit ultimates. Looking at you, Noir. But for me, this one takes the cake. No matter the situation, adding a Cupid ultimate simply makes it better. Or worse, depending which side the Cupid's fighting for. Overall, the multi-tool of Smite is possibly one of the best assets to a team. And with anti-heal currently somewhat lacking in Smite 2, it's hard to truly counter him. And pairing him up with an Aphrodite, your team will likely out-sustain most team fights. Since his ult is so massive, pairing him up as an ADC with Ymir or Ares can lead to some devastating ultimate combos. But due to his lack of lane clearing potential, matchups against gods like Izanami, Ula and Neith can be quite challenging, as they usually have better lane pressure. Personally, I use as much attack speed as possible, as the added effects for his passive are too beneficial to pass on. But this guy can easily run crit or an intelligence focused build to maximize the healing provided by his 2 and ultimate. In conclusion, if Cupid's aim seems off, just know he's trying to set you up for a blind date. Thank you for watching. Hopefully the next one won't take this long to make. I already have a god in mind for that one, but still be sure to let me know who you want to see down below. As always, any feedback is good feedback, and have a great day.